If you're a fan of the classic 3D platformers from the 90s like Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, or DK64, pay attention because this game is for you. I am so happy I stumbled across this gem of a game, and I hope I'm pronouncing the title properly, but Poi is a very colorful, joyful, and excellent 3D adventure platformer that is just saturated in charm and will bring a smile to anybody's face. Poi is available on Windows, Mac, Linux, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, and the team is working on bringing it to the Nintendo Switch in late 2017, and I think that's a great idea. Poi was created by Ben Gable and Paul Ewers and had a small team under them under the studio name of Polykid. Poi follows the adventure of two orphans that have run away to seek adventure. During their adventure, they come across a master explorer who's searching for all of his explorer medals, which he lost in a giant storm. He asks the kids to join him on his adventure to regain his explorer medals, and thus adventure ensues. Now I have one problem with the backstory of the master explorer. During the storm, he had his wife with him, and he said during that storm she flew off of the airship, and when the storm passed, she was nowhere to be found. I thought that during this adventure we were going to find her or that she would come up, but he only cares about getting his explorer medals back, and she never came up in the story. So that is just incredibly sad, and I have to say that's just awful. What kind of husband is that? He just wants the medals back. He doesn't even care about his wife. Who knows? Maybe I'm going through the new Plus game mode right now. Maybe we'll find her. I doubt it, but that is a real big plot hole that I thought was incredibly sad. And he just loses his wife. Anyway, from the first moment of taking control, my smile was so big. The colors and graphical art style of this game are just exploding with cute fun, and it runs so unbelievably smooth. I apologize that all the footage you'll see is capped at 30 frames per second, but this game runs buttery smooth with frame rates at 60 or possibly higher. The lush video gamey colors mixed with delightful sound effects and adventurous music makes Poi a perfect addition to this 3D platformer genre that has been absent from the game space for a while. Much like in the vein of Mario 64, you will revisit the same levels multiple times to complete different tasks that will award you with different medals. Each time you return to the level, different sections of the level will become available to you, and also the weather and time of day change, and that was a feature I really liked a lot. Poi will definitely drum up feelings of nostalgia within any player who gamed through the 90s, but beyond that, Poi brings its own stamp of originality to the table. The levels are not that big, but large enough to be a sandbox of exploration, and it's amazing how much you'll be doing in these small world maps. It's in this detail I think the game is also really great for kids, as you'll go into the world with one goal to get the medal, and usually once you get it, you'll return to the airship in the sky. So it really helps keep your focus on what you're there to do one thing at a time, and the worlds are not overwhelmingly large to a younger player. I just want to take this moment to reiterate that Poi is for everybody. It's not just a kid's game. If you genuinely enjoy 3D platformers, Poi is top-notch and offers plenty of challenges that are challenging, but not to the point of controller-breaking frustration. And I may sound like a broken record on this point, but Poi is beautiful. This game is built upon the Unity engine. I really love that kind of untextured, smooth texture, global illumination lighting of these kind of games, and from what I've seen, Poi has been the best use of this style and color. It just makes me feel like I'm playing a PlayStation 2 or GameCube game, but in HD, and it's just gorgeous. As you progress, you will visit different lands, all with their own themes that are very familiar locations for a game like this. The green, lush forests and water zones, a fiery volcanic environment, a wintry snow world, a desert area, and an underground mine. I also have to say that I love the video gamey type locations of like the fire world or the snow world or the forest level. I just think it's just pure fun. And as a creator as well, it lets you stretch that art and design muscle in many different environments. And a game that focuses so much on adventure, the themed variety really makes you feel like you've been all around the world. Even though the levels aren't too big, they do have checkpoints in case you fall off a cliff, you'll just start right back at that checkpoint. I did encounter a bug with these checkpoints quite a few times in the Mount Magma level. I would respawn and either the character would be moving by itself or unresponsive completely to my control and be frozen, and I'd have to restart the entire level. Now, since the worlds were small, this was not a big deal at all, but it's definitely something I'd urge the development team to iron out for any future releases. Most of the time though, the checkpoints work just fine. In between levels, you'll return to the sky in your airship. Other characters along the way will join around you, each with with their own tasks they'd like you to take care of. Beyond the standard levels, there's a good amount of challenge levels that provide a nice, fun, and challenging distraction from the main story. Doing these will also provide you with medals and collectibles necessary to obtain complete 100% status to the game. I collected everything and completed the game in about 10.5 hours. It could probably be done a lot quicker. I just enjoyed taking my time with the game. At any point in the game, you can choose to play as either the boy or the girl. I played about half the game as the boy and the second half as the girl. Both control exactly the same, but it's nice to have the inclusive option to play both. Throughout the journey, you can collect different costumes for the characters that change the color of their clothes or how they look, and that was a touch I really liked. The music of Poi was so adventurous and added a lot of mood to the game. I have to send my praise to the composer Lyndon Holland, because it just really, the melodies had a bit of a vibe of triumphant Western cowboy films infused into it, and it just gave you that adventurous feeling. And each level's music really fit it very well. I often found myself throughout the day whistling these tunes while I was away from the game, and I was just like, whistling them. So congratulations, fantastic music in this game. Poi is a game that anybody can pick up and play, but provides just enough challenge to keep seasoned players interested, and I'm telling you, this game has charm like nothing else. If you're looking to take a break from all the violent and mature grit of many of today's major games and would like that kind of gleeful video game fun, then Poi is absolutely my #1 choice to accomplish that goal. I fully completed this game to 100% completion, and I love it so much that I'm playing through it again on a New Game Plus mode where it's harder and all the levels are flipped. So Ben and Paul and everyone at Polykid, thank you so much for making this amazing game, and I'm gonna sit here on video right now and beg you, please make a Poi 2. I would absolutely be all over that from day one. It's incredible. You guys did such a great job. Poi is available on Windows, Mac, Linux, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, which is how I played it, and the team, like I mentioned, is working to bring it to the Nintendo Switch later on in 2017, and that is such a great idea for kids, because I know a lot of kids are on the Switch, so fantastic. Look, if you value my opinion at all, pick up this game if you're looking to have that gleeful, fun, awesome 3D platforming. It's just incredible. So what are you waiting for? Go have an adventure.